Hi, my name is Paola Catizone, and hi everybody. Thank you, Diane in the drawing box and everyone in the drawing box. I'm really enjoying everybody's work and videos. So today we're filming from my home, which is also my studio. I have a shed in the garden that we will visit in a little while. Drawing is really central to my work, and I would like to start by showing you this particular drawing, which is one of a series of quite a few performative drawings. This performative drawing kind of practice began while I was still in college doing my master's, and after a visit to New York with college I saw an exhibition at the Chelsea Dance Center, and it was an exhibition by dancers and artists on performative drawing, and it really blew me away and impressed me. And when I came back to Dublin and started doing this work, this piece is made with markers, bunches of fine line markers, fine tip on each hand, so 2 hand drawings, and I would set myself some parameters. One would be the duration, so there were durational performances. I would just work for 3 uninterrupted hours, whether it was in a gallery, in an art center, or in the street, or at the festival. I did one on Body and Soul one year, which was actually in UV markers with UV lights. It was quite funky. So music was often a part of this. So I did this kind of work. Was great for me in that it brought me to collaborating with musicians, live music bands, electronic musicians, choreographers and dancers, and my partner, who's a world music DJ and a world music radio broadcaster. So I had all this amazing ethnic music to work with, and to a great extent the music used would be kind of traditional music, trance music from different cultures, from ragas to Moroccan nawa. So the repetitive kind of drive of the music was quite trance-inducing for me. I was very interested in exploring that because my background is also not only in dance and movement, but in yoga, meditation, and West Eastern philosophy. So the music very much influenced the marks. So 3 hours of uninterrupted mark making with an audience. So it's quite immersive. Something about being in the drawing rather than outside looking in. And the span of the drawing was literally marked by the breadth of my arms. So those were some of the parameters that I would set myself. So the large performative drawings really helped me loosen up, and in a way loosen up away from figuration, which I had been working with. These are kind of studio explorations. They're not finished works, but they really have that sense of also repetition and this kind of organic mesh of forms. They're not performative drawings, but they are, to me, quite connected to that work in a way, kind of really weaving through the line. Here are some figurative drawings, clearly inspired by dance and movement, but also just live drawing with model. And even though I worked with abstract drawing, I continued to produce figurative work, which I continue to love. Particularly here you can see drawings of children and teenagers. These are my children. And somehow it's something that keeps coming back for me. Something about that kind of newness of childhood that really appeals to me to draw. I work at IMA, the Irish Museum of Modern Art, and I see, we've had a Freud exhibition for a long time, And I see that Freud always painted the people he loved and knew very well. I can understand that without wanting to in any way compare myself to the great master, but I can understand where he was coming from. You know these people and you love them, and so you can really kind of portray them from within. So we're now in the garden studio shed, having kind of crossed the rainy garden, and this is my wall, which is quite a patchwork of drawings. I like to have my work around me while I work, and this is kind of like a notebook. In fact, a lot of these come straight out of a notebook. Just pull it out. This area here, what we see is figurative work. It's the black and white were kind of sketches for a commission for the Irish Yoga Association that then became paintings for them. Again, images of people I know. And this one here, I'm interested in because I use cleaning products to make it like that kind of Ajax powder that I don't think you get anymore, and some bleach and glue, and you can really use so many non-art materials to make work. But yeah, this one is one I'm actually quite fond of. And they kind of sit side by side with the more abstract work. And for me, there isn't so much of a contradiction, because I think anything that it has a form like a body, if you actually go in with a microscope and go closer and zoom in, you're into abstraction. And so these are, again, kind of organic motifs. Black and white is something, obviously, I really love, but kind of there's an element of a little bit of painting, a little bit of color coming in. And again, they move a little bit from the more actual kind of botanical, this is quite a realistic one, to something more kind of imaginative, nearly kind of oniric, dreamy, to collage. And they're just really kind of explorations of nature. So this little drawing on the wall is kind of made with a black prime paper and white paint markers, and it kind of echoes a little bit the quality of the large drawings, the drawing that you saw earlier on, the performative one. It has this element of chaos and a web of life in a way, and it kind of connects. Again, we're back into black and white. What I do feel is that it's a very patient, repetitive drawings that also have that kind of quality of trance, yeah? Like for instance, this one, it's quite small and kind of, simple, and yet it has that kind of quality of patience and repetition, and that is nearly a little bit trance-like, or certainly meditative for me. And then what I'm actually currently doing is quite textile. This is made with a piece of embroidery kind of glued onto board, and then with paint and marker kind of worked and elaborated on. Again, that sense of patience and repetition is there. There are a few of those. In color, personally, I think the black and white works best. This is work in progress, and we're now into actually kind of stitching and embroidering, which is really slow and it's really repetitive, and it's kind of quite. Time is an element of any art practice, I think, and while the performative drawings were 3 hours, this is kind of something that I return to, and this element of time slowing down. So it's quite slow and focused. And this unfinished, this particular one is unfinished. These two aren't, they're finished works. What they are is small canvases, primed again with black primer, and then worked with graphite, and this silver embroidery thread. Again, initially I started making them with a sense of the elements of earth and of air. I have a water one that I actually gave away as a present. So yeah, working with elements. So I wanted to also show you some recent paintings because they're very closely connected to drawing. This particular work here was actually originally just a drawing made with graphite on black prime canvas, and it was a circular drawing, a very specific image of a Chinese map of the stars, astronomic map, possibly the first detailed map of the stars made by humanity. And because of the graphite sitting over the black, this drawing just becomes visible when there's quite a lot of light directly pointed at it. And then after a while of looking at it, there was a second stage in which I became a bit frustrated with the invisibility. I just poured all of this paint. I really wanted to explore with pouring paint. And it kind of ended up looking, I think it's ended up looking like a contrast between chaos and order, a cosmic kind of order and chaos. So these two paintings are very clearly line-based, and there's a strong element of drawing in both. They are recent and they are kind of inspired by sunsets, summer sunsets in Wicklow, where my partner lives in Wicklow, and I spend time there, and I just love the skies. So this is what these two are about. This one is just this kind of summer skies, and this one through the brambles that were constantly chopping off, and you can see the sky. So we will just round up this little presentation with another performative drawing, just kind of reconnecting to where we started with the large drawing at the beginning of this video. The marks are quite different. The drawings might be similar, but the marks here, you might notice, are quite curved and kind of more circular, and that is completely to do with the music and I guess like with the unique experience of each performance. Performance is something quite central to my work because it just happens in the present moment. And even though the drawings are here, the performances themselves are ephemeral and perhaps can be captured by video. I am lucky to have collaborated with some really great video artists. And the videos of performances can be viewed on my website. I will leave a link to my website in the description to this video when I put it up. So thank you again to everybody who watched, and thanks to Diane and to the Drawing Box.